Hello everybody and welcome back to part 2 of making our activated charcoal with the Lotus Operations. And in today's video I'm going to continue on from my part 1 video of how you can make some active carbon for filtration systems, some active charcoal, there we go, active charcoal, sorry. Out of your basic wood chips that you can get from chopping down firewood, chopping up firewood, chopping down trees, chopping up your firewood, scrap wood around the house, whatever you can do. I am showing you how you can turn it from the wood around you and make it into pure carbon to be used for... Okay everybody, so as I mentioned earlier, we have already completed part 1 of making activated charcoal. Now activated charcoal is different than real charcoal because activated charcoal is cooked at higher temperatures. Therefore it completely turns into carbon, and when you are done with it, and you turn it into a powder form, you basically make it as porous as you can get it, and it is extremely good for filtering water, filtering out chemicals in the air, making your filtering out other air quality stuff, gas masks, drinking it for bloatiness and upset stomachs and some poisons that if you accidentally drink it, it will help with that stuff there. But let's begin the process, and I'm going to show you exactly what we have so far. And as you can see here is the dried charcoal that's been sitting here for 24 hours. Now, as you can see, it's chunk, but as I squeeze it, it turns more into a powder. The finer you get the charcoal, the better quality it is, and the more it will filter. So we are going to powder this down even more. Look at that, all that on my hands, pure filter. We're going to turn all of this into a straight powder, and now I'm going to show you how to actually activate it using the chemical bleach or lemon juice, or there's a specific chemical you can buy, but I do not have that on hand, so I'm going to use bleach to activate the charcoal. So the first thing I'm going to do in order to get this charcoal ready to go is I am going to get this charcoal and pour it into a gallon Ziploc bag so that I will be able to crush it up into a finer powder, because I want it as fine as possible. And then I'm going to pulverize it down into a better material so we can have it activated. And then once we get this puppy activated, we are going to actually vacuum seal it to prepare it for a gas mask video that I'm going to do to teach you how you can take a paint mask and make it into a temporary gas mask that will be beneficial for you. So, let's begin the process here. I cannot find my rubber mallet, so I'm going to get this mallet here, and I'm going to literally just crush it all the way down. And it's hard to see, but as you can see here, it is now as you can see here on the camera now, instead of being big chunks, it is more of a fine powder. So now let's begin the activation process. So as you can see here with the stuff, all you're going to need is your powdered up activated charcoal, your charcoal before it's activated, a clean bowl, your measuring cup, and your bleach. Now the normal stuff you can use is calcium chloride and water in a 1:3 ratio, but if you don't have that chemical in hand, which I do not, and you can buy that at normal hardware stores, home centers, or general retailers, you can use bleach or lemon juice as an alternative. And all you're going to have to do when you use the bleach is just use 1.3 cups or 3.10 milliliters of bleach or the same amount of lemon juice instead of the other solution. And what you're going to do is you're going to stir the solutions with the powder until the powder becomes a paste. And once the powder becomes a paste into your clean bowl, then you will stop it and cover it for 24 hours. So let's begin the mixing process. What we're going to do is we are going to begin the process with the bleach. 1.3 cups. 1, 2, 3, and that's 1 cup and 1.3. Boom. 4 of those. Okay. At a third of a cup, it will be 1.3 cups. There. So now we're going to slowly add your powder to your mixture, and you're going to stir it in until it becomes a paste. Now I got to get me a spoon. I don't have me a spoon, so let me go retrieve a spoon. So what we're going to do is we are going to pour the mixture into here, the charcoal into the bleach, while stirring it every so often into the mixture. And you're going to keep doing that until it becomes a paste. And once it becomes a paste, then we will go to our next step. You're going to carefully stir this because you're messing with chemicals here, bleach. You don't want to get on your clothes. You don't want to get in your eyes. And remember, the most important thing when you're mixing all this stuff, you want to keep it into a freaking clean containers as much as possible so you do not put any contaminants back into your gas mask or filters or whatever, because you don't want contamination in there. You just want pure carbon. Okay, so as you can see, there is a paste on my spoon, and this is also in a somewhat of a paste. I bet you we needed a little bit more wood, but I did not cook enough wood to be able to get the exact stuff. So now what you do is you let this sit 24 hours. We're going to cover it, let it sit for 24 hours, and then we will begin the next steps. Okay guys, a quick note. I have here, my bowl is completely covered. Now, quick note, the chemical reaction between the bleach and the activated charcoal is going to get the bowl extremely hot. Like, this bowl is actually extremely hot to the touch. It's almost like it just got out of the freaking oven at 425 degrees. So, I am going to put this bowl on top of a non-flammable surface because I don't know exactly how hot this freaking bowl is going to get. But just wanted to have a little warning set out to y'all that the bowls will get extremely hot to the touch, so no one gets any freaking burns or stuff like that. So that is a warning there. Even the tinfoil at the top is getting warm. So we are going to have to keep an eye on that because of a fire hazard, because I don't know exactly what's going to happen. It's my first time ever doing it. So that's just a quick warning for y'all. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Lotus Operations, and it has been officially 24 hours since we have created the activated charcoal, and we have combined the mixture together, and we are going to be taking the charcoal out of the container, putting it back into the cooking pot, and cooking it for another 3 hours. So what we are going to do is we are going to be removing the top from the activated charcoal. And as you can see, it is still a slushy mixture of stuff here. And you want to try to drain as much of the liquid off of this as possible. And then you're going to put it back into your pot, cook it for 3 hours, and then it will be completely activated. So let's go and drain this stuff out. So since this is a chemical, I am going to be utilizing this stuff here to try to get as much of the liquid drain as possible, because you want as much of the chemical reaction stuff out. Just straight up liquid gone, your charcoal left behind, if any drains out. And as you can see, really nothing is draining out, so there's really not much liquid in there. Let's see here. Whoa, we don't want our paste going, we want our liquid, just our liquid out. Back a tray. I'm doing it in this container here. Okay, so we're gonna drip any bleach that we used out. Okay, nothing is really draining here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this back into our pot, and we are going to cook it for 3 hours. And after 3 hours of cooking, this stuff should be back to a powder form, and then we will be able to vacuum seal it and store it up for future use. So let's begin the cooking process. So as you can see here, we have our pot back. We clean the pot the best we can. We've got our fire down. Now we don't want the fire on the extreme heat. We want our fire down to like this is really raging high. We don't want it that high. We want to fire down to like a good, not too low, but not too high of a burn, because it's going to be here for 3 hours. And then we're going to take our paste mix and we're going to throw it back into the pan, and we're going to let it cook for 3 hours. Now, this stuff here we're just going to have to get rid of off of this pan, because this is well more charcoal than what I need for my projects. So we are going to take and we're going to put the lid on. And we are going to put the fire down low. Not too high, but not too low. We want it to be able to boil. Now you want the fire at a high enough temperature where it would boil water. Therefore, so that the process, the chemical process, would be able to activate the charcoal. So now we're going to let it sit for a good 3 hours. The time check is 16:18. And we are going to be back around 7:18 to take it off and allow it to cool down. I'm going to do a research right quick to see if the lid needs to be on or off. But right there, it is cooking. So, okay, campers, welcome back. And it is currently 17:37, a little bit over an hour and almost a half after I started the cooking process of the activated charcoal. And I've been doing some research while the charcoal was cooking, because according to the instructions, you're supposed to cook the activated charcoal for 3 hours. And after a little bit more research, it's either 3 hours or until all the moisture is gone. And after an hour and a half, as you can see, this is nothing but a fine powder once again. So therefore, being that all the moisture is completely gone, the charcoal is completely finished. So therefore, I can be able to turn off of my propane tank, save my gas and my resources, and now we will allow this to cool down so we can be able to take this activated charcoal powder and use it into whatever environments we want. And I want to show you what it does after it's done, and this is how you know that all the moisture is gone. So as you can see here, when you're moving around, it's nothing but a huge powder. Now we don't want to lose all this stuff here, so we are going to put this back and let it cool down to the touch. Now, depending upon the amount of charcoal that you are trying to cook, depends on how long it's going to take. You can also throw it in the oven at 250 degrees for 30 minutes or until all the moisture is gone. That is another option if you don't want to do an outside grill. But being I used bleach, I didn't know if the fumes would radiate into the house. And here, really didn't have much fumes in there. So next time, I'll be able to cook it in the house at a more controlled temperature without all this wind. Because right now, the wind is starting to pick up. So that's why I had to research to see if I could turn it off a little bit faster than normal. And once I found out that all the moisture was gone, I could turn it off. I decided to kill it off and let it cool down so we can be able to vacuum seal this charcoal and be able to use it for my next video, which is going to be gas mask and water filtration systems. But activated charcoal is a really easy process that you can make for less than $1 a pound almost, compared to paying $15 to $20 or maybe a little bit less depending upon the amount of charcoal you get from Amazon or from the stores and stuff like that. You can make it extremely cheap if you know how to do it and you have the right resources around. So once it's fully cools down, we will get back with y'all, and then we will vacuum seal this into the containers and prep them ready for the last video. So y'all have fun now, and I don't need to show you how to vacuum seal stuff. Most people know how to vacuum seal it. So Lotus Operation's out. I hope you enjoyed the video and prepare for all my next videos. Like I said, we got gas masks coming soon, smoke bombs coming soon, and water filtration systems. Lotus Operation's out. Please like, subscribe my videos, and share. Have a nice day and stay safe, y'all.